My wife said, "Stop acting insecure. It's just a quick late-night meeting." I replied, "Sure. You've always been loyal to your meetings." That night, I didn't wait for her or text her. I simply took off one item she never imagined I'd remove. The next morning, when she walked into the room and saw what I'd left on her chair, she froze so hard you could hear the silence crack. I'm Owen, 33, and I spent 6 years married to someone who thought I was too stupid to notice patterns. This is about the night I stopped pretending and started acting. My wife Christine and I got married when I was 27. We met through work connections, had that instant chemistry everyone talks about, and built what I thought was a partnership based on trust and mutual respect. She worked in corporate communications, I worked in data analysis. We were both driven, both successful, both seemingly on the same page about our future. The late-night meetings started about 8 months ago. Christine would get calls at 9 or 10 p.m., always apologetic, always rushed. "Emergency client situation," she'd say, or "crisis management for the Thompson account." She'd grab her laptop, sometimes change into business casual even though these were supposedly video calls, and disappear into her home office for 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours. At first, I believed it. Her job was demanding. Clients had emergencies. I understood that world. But then I started noticing things that didn't add up. She'd come back from these meetings with her hair different, like she'd run her hands through it repeatedly. Her makeup would be slightly smudged. She'd smell like outside air, and sometimes cologne that definitely wasn't mine. And she'd be distant, distracted, like she was still somewhere else mentally. I'm a data analyst. I notice patterns. I build models based on observable behavior. And the data I was collecting about Christine's late-night meetings wasn't pointing toward work emergencies. 3 months ago, I started documenting everything. Every meeting, every excuse, every time she came home smelling like someone else's cologne. I created a spreadsheet. Times, dates, stated reasons, observable inconsistencies. I'm not proud of it, but I'm not ashamed either. When something doesn't add up, you investigate. The meetings increased in frequency. Once a week became twice a week. Then 3 times. Last month, she had 7 late-night emergencies. 7. In 1 month. I never confronted her directly. Every time I felt the anger rising, I'd think about what confrontation would accomplish. She'd deny it. She'd gaslight me. She'd make me feel crazy for even asking. So I stayed quiet and kept documenting. 2 weeks ago, something shifted. Christine started getting sloppy. She left her phone unlocked on the counter while she showered. I looked. I know, invasion of privacy, but at that point I was past caring about ethics. I needed confirmation. The messages were there. All of them. Months of conversation with someone named David from her office. Not work conversations. Plans to meet. Complaints about me. How I was predictable and boring. How she needed excitement. How these meetings made her feel alive again. I took screenshots. Sent them to myself. Deleted the evidence of my snooping. Then I went to our bedroom and sat there for 2 hours, just processing. I could have exploded. Could have printed the messages and thrown them in her face. Could have screamed and demanded answers. But that would have given her control of the narrative. She'd cry, apologize, promise to change, and I'd be stuck in this cycle of doubt and forgiveness until the next time. I needed something cleaner. Something final. Something she couldn't talk her way out of. Last Tuesday, Christine announced another late-night meeting. We were having dinner, something I'd cooked because she'd been too busy to help with household stuff lately, when her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, and I saw her expression change. That little smile. The one that used to be for me. "I have to take a meeting tonight," she said, not quite meeting my eyes. Last-minute thing with the executive team. Probably going to run until 11 or so. Another one? I kept my voice neutral. That's the 3rd this week. I know. I'm sorry. It's just a crazy time at work. You understand. Stop acting insecure, she added when I didn't immediately respond. It's just a quick late-night meeting. I looked at her. Really looked at her. She was already thinking about leaving, about wherever she was actually going, about whoever she was meeting. I was just an obstacle to get past. "Sure," I said calmly. "You've always been loyal to your meetings." She paused, fork halfway to her mouth. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing. Just acknowledging your dedication to work." She studied my face for signs of suspicion or anger. Found nothing. I'd gotten good at hiding it. "Okay," she said slowly. "I'll be back as late as usual. Don't wait up." "I won't." She left around 8:30, dressed too nicely for a video call. Perfume I'd bought her for our anniversary. The whole performance. I watched her car pull out of the driveway. Then I went to our bedroom and opened my nightstand drawer. My wedding ring sat there, next to my watch and some other personal items. I'd worn it every day for 6 years. Through good times and bad. Through arguments and reconciliations. Through every moment of our marriage. It represented a promise. A commitment. A commitment she'd broken months ago. I took off the ring. Held it for a moment, feeling the weight of it, the meaning of what I was about to do. Then I walked to Christine's home office and placed it in the center of her desk chair. Just the ring. Nothing else. Then I went back to the bedroom and started packing. Not dramatically. Not emotionally. Just methodically removing my clothes from the closet, my toiletries from the bathroom, my personal items from the spaces we'd shared. I worked until 3 in the morning. By then, I'd packed everything that mattered into my car. Clothes, important documents, laptop, a few sentimental items. The house was still full of my stuff, furniture and books, and all the accumulated debris of 6 years together. But none of that mattered. Those were just things. I left the ring on her chair like a period at the end of a sentence. Then I drove to a hotel across town and checked in for an extended stay. Update 1. I woke up at 7 to 23 missed calls and 47 text messages. All from Christine. I didn't read them. Not yet. I wanted coffee first. Wanted to be clear-headed for whatever was coming. At 8 a.m., I finally looked at the messages. They started at 6:47 a.m., which meant she'd come home late, probably went straight to bed, and found the ring when she went to her office in the morning. The first messages were confused. Owen, where are you? Why is your ring on my chair? What's going on? Then panicked. Owen, call me. This isn't funny. Where are you? Please answer. Then angry. You can't just leave without talking to me. This is childish. We need to discuss this like adults. Then desperate. Please come home. We can fix this. I love you. Please. I made my coffee. Drank it slowly. Then I sent one text. I know about David. I know about all of it. I've known for months. We're done. My lawyer will contact you this week. The response was immediate. Phone call started. I declined them all. More messages flooded in, escalating from denial to bargaining to anger. There's nothing to know about David. We're just colleagues. You're making something out of nothing. If you'd just let me explain. How dare you spy on me? You're throwing away 6 years over your paranoia. I never cheated. This is on you for being so insecure. Classic. Deny, deflect, blame the victim. I didn't respond. Instead, I called a lawyer I'd already researched and scheduled a consultation for that afternoon. I'd been preparing for this moment for weeks, gathering documentation, organizing finances, understanding my rights. I wasn't acting on impulse. I was executing a plan. The lawyer, a straightforward woman named Karen who'd handled hundreds of divorces, listened to my story and reviewed my evidence. You have documented patterns of deception, text message evidence of an emotional affair at minimum, and a clear timeline of when the marriage deteriorated, she said. This is very clean from a legal standpoint. No kids. No kids. Assets. House is jointly owned. We have joint bank accounts, separate retirement accounts. 2 cars, both paid off. Okay. We can file for divorce on grounds of abandonment of the marriage. With your evidence, she won't have much room to contest. It should be relatively straightforward. How long? In this state, minimum 6 months. Could be longer if she fights it, but given what you have, I doubt she will. Do it. Update 2. Christine showed up at my hotel that night. I don't know how she found me. Probably called every hotel in the area, but there she was in the lobby when I came back from dinner. She looked terrible. No makeup, hair pulled back, eyes red from crying. Part of me felt bad. The part that had loved her for 6 years. But a bigger part remembered every lie, every late-night meeting. Every time she'd made me feel crazy for noticing the obvious. Owen, please. Can we just talk? There's nothing to talk about. Yes, there is. You're throwing away our marriage over a misunderstanding. It's not a misunderstanding. I read the messages. Months of them. I know exactly what's been happening. Her face went pale. You went through my phone. You went through our marriage. I'd say we're even. Those messages, they're taken out of context. David and I are friends. We vent to each other about work stress. That's all. Friends don't meet at hotels. Friends don't complain about their spouses being boring. Friends don't make plans to see each other 3 times a week at night, while lying about work emergencies. We've never been to a hotel. That's not true. I pulled out my phone and showed her a screenshot. A message from her to David. Same place as last time? I can get there by 9. His response, room 412. Can't wait. She stared at the screen. All color drained from her face. That was for a work meeting. The hotel has conference rooms. At 9 p.m. on a Wednesday. For a 2-person meeting. Try again. Oh, and please. I made mistakes. I got too close to a colleague. But I never physically cheated on you. We just talked. That's all. Emotional affairs are still affairs, Christine. You gave him the intimacy that should have been mine. You shared your thoughts, your time, your energy with someone else while lying to me about it. That's betrayal. I was confused. I was going through something, and I didn't know how to talk to you about it. So instead of talking to your husband, you started a relationship with another man and lied about it for 8 months. That's not confusion. That's choice. She started crying harder. Please don't do this. We can go to counseling. We can fix this. I love you. If you loved me, you wouldn't have spent the last 8 months making me feel crazy while you carried on with David. If you loved me, you would have talked to me instead of to him. If you loved me, you wouldn't have dismissed my concerns as insecurity while you were out lying to my face. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. And I'm done. The papers will be served next week. Don't contact me again unless it's through lawyers. I walked past her to the elevator. She called after me, but I didn't turn around. When the elevator doors closed, I saw her standing in the lobby, shoulders shaking, completely broken. I felt nothing. Final update. The divorce took 7 months. Christine fought it initially, tried to claim we could reconcile, that I was being hasty. But once the evidence was presented formally through lawyers, she backed down. Her lawyer probably told her that fighting would only make things worse and more public. David, interestingly, stopped responding to her messages within days of me leaving. Apparently, when the affair had consequences, he wasn't so interested anymore. Christine tried to blame me for ruining her friendship, but our mutual friends who knew the truth weren't buying it. We settled everything out of court. I got my share of the house equity. We split the savings, divided the assets. Clean break. I moved into an apartment downtown, started rebuilding my life. Christine moved to a different city about 3 months after the divorce finalized. New job, fresh start, whatever narrative she needed to tell herself. I heard through a mutual friend that she claims I abandoned the marriage over nothing, and that she was the victim of my paranoia. Let her tell that story. The people who matter know the truth. I'm doing okay now. Better than okay, actually. I'm dating someone new, taking it slow, being honest about my baggage. She's patient, understanding, and most importantly, she doesn't have late-night meetings that smell like cologne and broken promises. The wedding ring is still in a box somewhere in my closet. I should probably sell it or throw it away, but I keep it as a reminder. Not of Christine, but of the moment I chose myself over someone who'd been choosing someone else for months. That ring on her chair, that silent message, that was the loudest thing I've ever said. No arguments, no begging, no drama. Just a simple statement. I know, I'm done, and you can't talk your way out of this one. She froze when she saw it because she knew exactly what it meant. The silence cracked because there was nothing left to say. I'd said everything by saying nothing at all.